Welcome to Canada's podcast.
Hello, this is Cynthia Lockery with Canada's podcast, where we talk to entrepreneurs who are making things happen right here in British Columbia. Today, our guest is Tammie Hunter. Tammie was raised on Vancouver Island and lives in Nanaimo. After exploring a few careers, she discovered later in life that being an entrepreneur was most rewarding and engaging. Tammie started LegArt Apparel in 2014. The company has grown from the original box of 100 pairs of leggings in the basement to over 4,000 pieces of inventory in a large warehouse and storefront in Nanaimo. Welcome, Tammie, to Canada's podcast. I so appreciate you taking the time to share your entrepreneur journey with our listeners. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your current business?
Thanks, Cynthia. It's nice to see you. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Nanaimo, and that's always a bonus for us. Well, my journey into business, I did have a budding art career before I took on LegArt. And so I knew a little bit about business and entrepreneurship. It's something I say now is I wish I had been an entrepreneur when I was younger. I love where I'm at, and I love the journey that has gotten me here. And we just started with 100 pairs of leggings in the basement, myself, my daughter-in-law, and my daughter. And the business grew, and I eventually took over the business and quit my job that I had currently with the provincial government, and just dove into it head first and got into the meat and bones of business. And there's been lots of ups and downs, but it's all been good though. It's been a really interesting, good time. It's been fun.
I just find that so fascinating, that introduction of went from 100 pairs in your basement to 4,000 pieces.
Well, we have a little bit more than that, actually. We've got 4,000 SKUs. So we've got, quite a bit more than 4,000, but yeah.
So what inspired you to make this shift, this new journey?
I think traditionally I've been in careers where I'm working for somebody else, and there's a certain order to the way things need to be done, of course, because to run a good business, there needs to be that. But I found the challenge of being a business person really piqued my interest in terms of how to be a good business person and how to set up a website, how to set up inventory and everything else. And the whole process of that journey started early on in the business with myself building the website. So, which I'd never done before other than with my little art website. So I think it just really piqued my interest, and I found it really exciting and rewarding with all the things that come with the business. All the good things that come with the business really made me feel great.
Yeah, and I just love how you've created this yourself. And in terms of starting your company, did you need financing at the beginning? How did you evolve?
Well, we started with, like I said, a few pairs of leggings, and we went to home parties. We attended events like exhibitions or craft shows, craft fairs, anything that would allow us to get out into the community to show off our leggings and our other products. But predominantly in the beginning, it was just leggings. And we just kept reinvesting every penny we got back into the business, and expanded our inventory. Every month we were ordering new products, and then we started online and just kept reinvesting everything we had into the business, paying ourselves a little bit, but not much. We were pretty broke in the beginning.
And so is there a piece of knowledge or information about your industry that would be of interest or benefit our listeners?
Oh, um, well, I would have to say to do your research and find out where you can source your products to begin with, and yeah, get your ducks in a row before you start. We didn't have our ducks in a row, so we were a bit of a mess in the beginning. But and have a plan. You really need to have a plan to execute to make sure everything goes well.
So what are you most proud of in terms of the work that you do?
I think it's the people. We have at any given time up to 8 employees working for the business, and over 200 independent distributors across the country that sell our products. And we also have retail locations that sell our products. So we have a wholesale. But I think the communicating with people and seeing how their businesses are evolving, because essentially when they purchase from us as a distributor, they're starting their own businesses. So they're using our program and all the benefits and everything that goes along with it. So it's really cool to see how they've grown.
And I suspect you're supporting a lot of women.
Oh yes, all women. The only man in the organization is my husband, who's a shareholder, and that's it. And he has really no input. He just tells me to go to work and makes my breakfast for me, and off I go. Breakfast and lunch.
Love it. And in terms of being based in BC, what do you see as the biggest benefit of being an entrepreneur in BC?
Oh, well, I think it's just a fairly relaxed environment to live in, especially on Vancouver Island in Nanaimo, where I'm at. Everything is, runs at a really cool pace, and doesn't seem like anybody's really crunched for time to do anything. Of course, we've all got our schedules we have to keep, and I'm sure there are some businesses that don't feel that way. But I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of support in terms of community groups and organizations to help entrepreneurs in British Columbia.
And for your business, what would you see as the biggest challenge for you and as an entrepreneur being in BC?
Oh, the population. We just don't have the population here to support the kind of sales that we need to grow our business in the way that we want to grow. I mean, if we want to slow, steady growth, then sticking to marketing in BC is great. But we saw our fastest growth when we opened up in Ontario and Quebec. And one of the biggest challenges has been shipping logistics, getting our orders out to our customers in a timely manner at the least or the most economic way to do that. And then, of course, the challenges are the weather. Being on Vancouver Island, of course, makes things difficult at times because of the ferry schedules or flight schedules. And Canada Post, sometimes has some issues with getting around. Yeah, that can be a real challenge.
Now, in terms of your successes, how do you first define success? And then more importantly, how do you celebrate it?
Well, I think one of the big things that makes me feel successful is when I can pay I pay my employees well above minimum wage. We don't have any minimum wage employees. We have a higher than average start rate when it comes to hiring people, but soon they are paid a really good wage above the living wage as well. We pay benefits. And one of my successes is when I can see my employees enjoying the fruits of their labors with LegArt. It's not always easy, I admit, but they enjoy bonuses and they're able to go out and buy a new car if they want without having to combine household incomes or buy a house, or that to me is successful. They're satisfied and they're happy to be there, and that's what makes me feel good.
I love that your successes is about other people and caring about your team. And so being an entrepreneur, there's some fear and doubt that sneaks into the day. How do you deal with that?
Well, I don't know. Through discussion, we often hold roundtable discussions with the staff to see how we can move on if there's something that's causing me some fear or their fear. Lately, it's been about economics. So we've all, talked about it, how we can double down on saving money within the organization, less wastage, better use of time, and that kind of thing. But basically, I don't know. I talk my way through my fears in my brain, and then present them to my husband or the team to work it out, so that lessens the anxiety in business.
And so where do you see your business in 5 years?
Oh, well, I have a plan. I'm hoping to retire within the next few years. I'm hoping to take my business to the next level so that we can house more employees, have more people working, be out in the community more, but also my exit plan is put into place so that I can pass off the business to someone else who's willing to take over the day-to-day workings and running the business. So, well, of course, we've grown every year, so that's another part of the plan. To continue growing.
Always a good thing. And so tell us about any routines that you have in place. So how do you start your day? Is there any routines that really help you stay motivated and stay focused that you've put in place?
Well, my business motivates me. I wake up every morning looking forward to going into the office. Start my day. Nothing extraordinary. I get up and I do my journaling, and I have a gratitude journal that I work on every day. Kind of look at what's going to go on during the day while I have my coffee, and kind of get into it and get to the office and sit down and look at my journal and see what needs to be done for the day and carry on and go from there and check off all those little tasks that need to be done, or big tasks. My philosophy is, I stole this from somebody else, but the nuts and bolts of it is, if you have to eat frogs for a living, eat the big one first. So I like to come into the office and get the largest tasks off my list before I get into the little things that need to be done. And that sets a routine there as well.
Yeah, I really like that. And also we talk about work-life balance, but sometimes it gets out of balance with the demands. How do you find time to relax, or how do you make sure that you don't lose sight of that work-life balance?
Well, I'm the proud grandmother of 3 lovely granddaughters. So I, hope to see them whenever I can, sometimes not for a couple of weeks, but they're always something that grounds me, brings me back down to earth. But I'm also into gardening. I love my garden, indoor plants. I've been a plant fanatic since I was a kid. Like I said, journaling and writing, but I'm also an artist. So I like to get my paintbrush in hand and get into the studio. Haven't had a lot of time to do that lately, but it's on my list of things to get at. So,
is that just behind you?
Yeah, that's some of my artwork. I used to have my work in several galleries, and had a thriving art career. Went to lots of art shows and had galleries representing me. But that kind of all fell off in the as the business grew. And required more of my attention. My art career kind of went down, but that's on my bucket list to get back into when I retire.
Right. So if you were to start new in your community and you didn't know anybody and you were thinking, I want to be an entrepreneur, what advice would you give to somebody new on how do you even start? What would you do differently or do to get established?
I would look for people who were in my business, in the same sort of business I want to get into, and talk to them, ask them, if they're willing to talk to me about their business and the opportunities that are there in the community. I would also join groups, fitness groups, whatever, plant groups, gardening groups, anything you can to get to know people in the community and other business members in the community as well, because there's a wealth of knowledge out there to help you if you do want to start a business in a new community.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything that keeps you up at night?
Oh, not lately. I've been sleeping quite well, but what would keep me up? Probably just a little tiny detail in my business that I forgot about or forgot to attend to during the day. A missed appointment, which happens once in a while, not often, but my family's happy and healthy, and that's all good. But yeah, pretty good about getting things off my mind.
Now, is there any advice that you've received in your career that you'd like to pass on to entrepreneurs in Canada, or that's helped you in your journey?
Oh, I would say get back to the planning part of it. It would be to plan your business, plan your growth, set goals about where you want to be at a certain time, in the day, the month, the year, and set guidelines as far as what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. If you can't manage finances, hire a bookkeeper. Can't manage social media, hire an expert to do that. It's really difficult to have your hands in so many pots. I've tried that, and it's difficult to do. So planning, having a good strategy, and making sure that your growth doesn't get out of hand, because that can be detrimental to the business as well.
And I think that's such a key point that we all need to surround ourselves with people who have a genius or expertise that we don't have so that we can focus on what we're best at.
For sure. Yeah. Get help. If you can't afford it, find someone who's willing to give you some free advice. There's lots of people out there who do that.
And your art career and that art journey, did that really help you as well with the transition to being the entrepreneur?
Oh yeah, I think it was perhaps a catalyst, because I was really enjoying my art career and the business, the whole thing in terms of running the business, finances, and setting up events and selling my art was a big thing. Hard to do, but it comes with experience. Gift of the gab helps. But my art career really allowed me, gave me the freedom to say, hey, I don't have to work for anybody else. I can work for myself, and I can do well at it.
Yeah, I really. So is there, if our listeners today want to get a hold of you, how would they reach out? How would they learn more about your business?
Well, they could check me out on LinkedIn. It's Tammie Hunter at LinkedIn. And if they need to email, they can email me through the website or to our support line on our website.
Great. And is there anything else you'd like to add before you leave us today? Any final thoughts you want to share?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Thanks, Cynthia. I would just like to send it out to the universe that even though times can get tough in business, we're going through a bit of a hard time right now because of the economy. But we've come across problems before. There was the difficulties with shipping and logistics. From COVID, and the whole COVID thing was just really difficult for businesses, small businesses especially. Just work through those issues and keep your head straight and keep your head on straight and don't let your emotions get in the way. Although that's tough at times, but just keep focused and do what you love.
I love that. Do what you love. Well, thank you for coming to the show. I really have learned a lot about you, and I look forward to chatting again.
Well, thanks, Cynthia. It's been fun, and it's so nice to see you again.
It is. That's Vancouver Island residents.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thanks again.